Please support the Feral Druid army. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Meow.
Hey there, my name is Ulfus, and today I am bringing you guys a guide for Feral Druid PvP. I'm going to cover the most preferred talents for arenas, but also a talent build that works great in 1v1 and Battleground situations. There will be timestamps in the description since this is a longer guide. That way you can jump around, you can go from talents to honor talents, or maybe just right into the end guide discussion. There is a lot of information here, and these talents work very well in arena. I hope you enjoy the guide. If you do, don't forget to smash that like button with your little kitty claws. And you know what? Let's just get right into it right now with the talents. So for this guide, I'm going to talk about the most preferred talents for Feral Druids. This will work in a lot of 1v1 situations, arenas, or even Battlegrounds, and it will get the job done. So for the first row here, we do have Lunar Inspiration, and Lunar Inspiration makes Moonfire usable in cat form, it generates 1 combo point, and it only costs 30 energy. Now the reason why we like Moonfire is because it's castable from a range, it generates the combo point, and it does cause less damage than Shred, but it's 10 energy cheaper. So the damage per energy is about the same as Shred, plus you do get the combo point generation. And we're not warriors, so as a Feral Druid you're going to be kiting a lot, and that's why you can use Moonfire when running, and it makes it perfect for building up combo points so you can run in, bleed, run out, and do your thing. And surviving is very important. For row number 2, I do prefer to take up Wild Charge a lot of the times. A Wild Charge will allow you to go into travel form and leap away. It'll allow you to leap towards an enemy in cat form, dazing them, or even in bear form, it'll immobilize them for 4 seconds. And it's very nice to have. You can use it in pretty much any form, and it's nice. You can use it in aquatic form on Twin Peaks to run flags in the water. You can use it in travel form to run flags and jump away and get that extra boost of speed. But you can also take up Renewal. If you feel like you're going to take a lot of damage in an arena, or if you feel like Wild Charge is not necessary, then Renewal is great, and it can also be used in 1v1 situations, like if you're doing duels, or if you're just messing around in World PvP. It is really personal preference. For the third row, we have Guardian Affinity, and Guardian Affinity is really good. It reduces all damage taken by 6% right off the bat, plus it unlocks Mangle, Iron Fur, and Frenzied Regeneration for you. But another talent that you can pick is Resto Affinity, which heals you for 3% of your maximum health every 5 seconds with Ysera's Gift, but it also has the opportunity to go to a nearby target if you are at full health. And it unlocks Rejuvenation, Healing Touch, Swift Men for you, so if you're able to kite and get away, you have these extra heals to use on yourself. Though having Guardian Affinity is a bonus because Frenzied Regeneration will restore 50% of damage taken for 5 seconds, or 3 seconds I believe. Let me check really quick. It's actually 3 seconds. But it heals you for 50% of all damage taken in the last 5 seconds over 3 seconds. So if you do get bursted down, you can absorb the burst pretty much, heal it back up, take back the damage that was dealt to you, and it's really nice to use. Going into bear form is very important, especially when you're low on energy. I like to apply bleeds in the beginning of a fight with my stun up, and then after my bleeds are applied, I will go bear form and try to kite away for a second while my bleeds tick. And then I'll go back into combat, go back into cat form when I can control the situation again. And for the fourth talent, I like to pick up Mighty Bash. It's a stun that stuns the target for 5 seconds. It's usable in all shapeshift forms, so you can use it in bear form, go into cat, do your thing, go back to bear. You can do it in travel form when you're running a flag. You can do it however you want to do it, and it has a 50-second cooldown. It's really nice to use. It doesn't cost any energy, mana, or rage, and it's pretty much the best for CCing, locking down a healer when you need to get a kill, or locking down pretty much anyone, peels for your healer, whatever you need to do. Another talent that I have been playing around with in some arena cases is Mass Entanglement, and 1v1 situations I've also found that it works great against BM hunters for locking down their pets and getting them entangled so that they can't come after you. For the 5th row, in PvP, I found that Incarnation is probably one of the best talents. It actually is one of the most preferred talents from what I've seen, though I have seen people go with Savage Roar, and with the changes in 7.2.5, Soul of the Forest might actually be a great option as well. It'll increase your damage by 5% passively, but instead of restoring at 12 energy per combo point, it will go down to 5 energy per combo point. So you do get a damage increase and a passive energy increase after using a finisher, though you do get less. So it's about 25 energy per finisher. But in arena situations, I feel like Incarn is the best option, simply because when you get your burst going, you can actually kill anybody with Incarnation. You can use your Blood Talons to empower a Shred, go in for some massive damage. The Shreds will be hitting for 500, 600k on crits and doing a ton of damage, especially if you use your Blood Talons. Plus, Incarnation will allow you to go back into stealth and use Prowl anytime you need to use it, so you can go into Prowl, turn around on an enemy, use your Rake Stun, apply bleeds, sprint away, and it really adds into your kiting and stunning ability, and like it gives you some extra CC as well. It's really nice for survivability, dealing damage, and just an overall great talent to have. And for the second to last talent, we have Jagged Wounds, and I feel like this is simply the best talent to pick up. It reduces the duration of Rip, Rake, and Thrash, but it deals the same amount of damage. So over time you will be dealing more damage with your bleeds, but you will have to reapply them more often. And in arena situations, I like to put bleeds on everybody, and having that available, you know, the damage ticking away on everybody increases over time. You get more and more damage, so it puts more pressure on the healer. So I go around bleeding everybody up, and then I come back with the Incarn and we go for the kill target, and usually because the pressure is so high, we're able to get a kill. And for the final talent tier, one of my more favorite talents to have is Blood Talons. And what this does is it increases the damage of your next 2 melee abilities by 50% for their full duration. This means bleeds, this means Shred, Ferocious Bite, Swipe, anything. So basically what you do is you go up to 4 or 5 combo points, you cast your Regrowth, you use it on your Rip, your Rake, and make sure that you're using this whenever you're spreading bleeds to off targets as well, because that passive damage from Jagged Wounds that we talked about, just ticking away and causing pressure, is increased even more by your Blood Talons, and this is why your bleeds are dangerous for enemies. This is why teams do not like Feral Druids, and you need to be making sure that you use this to your most best advantage here. Blood Talons will really help you out in the long run, and when you pop Incarnation, you're getting a damage increase to Shred and Rake, so using Blood Talons to empower a couple Shreds, or maybe even a Ferocious Bite, you can get a lot of extra damage off on those Shreds, and really take somebody down. So this is very nice to have. So let's move on to the honor talents really quick. I'll talk about what I prefer and what I think works best for PvP on Feral Druids. So for the first row, I do go with Gladiator's Medallion. It has a 2-minute cooldown and it removes all movement impairing effects. And I feel like having that hard trinket just to cast is better than having Adaption or Relentless in a lot of situations. So picking this up is very nice. For the second row, I do go with Hardiness. While above 80% health, you take 20% less damage, and in an arena situation where you're topped off and you're getting good heals, this is very nice. Though, in some situations where you're soloing or just out and about world PvPing or doing whatever you're doing, reinforced armor can be good too. But sparring is also a great option if you're going up against a Fury Warrior, DK, or some combo like that, and there's going to be a lot of fast and quick melee damage, because this will help you out a lot. And for the third row, we have Thorns, and Thorns is a great talent to have. It's not only good for throwing on yourself, but it's also good for peeling for a healer or any other teammate that you have. It'll lower the attacker's movement speed by 50% for 4 seconds, making it great for peeling, but it'll also deal nature damage equal to 5% of the attacker's total health. making it very good for peels. A lot of the times when people see thorns, they'll stop wailing on a healer, or they'll move on to another target for a minute. Sometimes you can get lucky like that, but it also, having that movement speed reduction is really good for you. Another talent here that you can pick up that I do enjoy is Tooth and Claw. It increases your health in bear form and your damage, and it gives you access to Enraged Maul. Since you will be applying bleeds and maybe going bear form while you're waiting for your energy to regenerate, having this is really nice for the extra damage, but it also helps out when you're getting trained as well for survivability. And I guess Protector of the Grove is also a good talent, but in the order that I recommended, I would go with Thorns, Tooth and Claw, and Protector of the Grove. If you don't have any melee in your enemy team that you're going up against in arenas, I would definitely pick up Tooth and Claw or possibly Protector of the Grove. For the fourth row, I have Savage Momentum, and why I love this talent over any of the other two is because interrupting a spell with Skull Bash will reset the cooldown of Tiger's Fury, making it great because having Tiger's Fury automatically brought back up when there's half of its cooldown left is very nice. It'll increase your energy, but it'll also increase your damage, so you can throw a quick Tiger's Fury up to empower some bleeds or just get some extra damage in, especially when you're training a healer. If a healer tries to free cast while you're on him, you can Skull Bash him, interrupt, and you can get that Tiger's Fury. And training him down, it'll really help you out in getting that kill. But you can also go with something like Freedom of the Herd, where your Stampeding Roar will clear all roots and snares from yourself and allies, and if you're going up against melee DPS and there's no healers or casters, Freedom of the Herd can be great, especially if you're not going to be able to make use of Savage Momentum. And for the second to last talent, I do enjoy picking up Enraged Maim in Arena. Having the Incapacitate from Maim is very, very good, and it also deals quite a bit of damage. It's on a 6-second cooldown, though you will get diminishing returns, so you can't really use it on the same target more than once, though I guess you could if you really needed to. But it will cut the cooldown in half, so from 6 seconds to 3 seconds, so altogether you can get about a 9-second incapacitate, though 6 seconds is very, very good for an incapacitate, especially when you're trying to get a kill on a DPS and you need to lock down a healer really quick. A lot of the times I found that Enraged Maim does help me out quite a bit. For the final talent, I do enjoy picking up Ferocious Wound in arenas, and what it does is it reduces the target's maximum health by 25% for 20 seconds, and it's very good to use if you're going after a healer or anybody for that matter. Just reducing their health by 25% is really good to have, and I like to apply this when I'm first attacking a target, but I also do use Ferocious Bite quite a bit. You're not always refreshing Rip, so using this is awesome. Now let's go over a brief overview of the spells, rotation, and a little bit of survivability for you guys. I want to make sure that you guys are all aware of some of the most important abilities that Feral Druids have. So like I said, we do have the Maim, which on the Honor talents will turn into an Incapacitate from a stun, but there's also abilities such as Remove Corruption, which I don't see a lot of Feral Druids using a lot. If I can find this damn thing, I know it's in alphabetical order, but there we go. So what this does is it removes a curse or poison effect, and it'll remove all of them actually. So if you're going up against a rogue and he has all of his poisons on you, you can use Remove Corruption to remove them. You can get rid of Curse of Agony. You can also get rid of Hex on a arena target that you're with, such as your healer. If your healer gets hexed, they're not going to be able to heal you. So having a key binding like what I have is my S key binded to my arena target member 1, like my party member, and then if I do Control S, it'll target arena party member 2, and what I could do is press my S key and then use my key binding Alt 2 to remove corruption from them. Now having this target party member key binding is also good for using a regrowth or for throwing up Thorns on a target. Now I don't have Thorns in here because I'm not in PvP combat, but Thorns is really, really good to use, especially when somebody is getting chased down. And another ability to use is bear form a lot of the times. You want to make sure that you have bear form keybinded. Like I have it keybinded down here. I do have a Razor Naga, so that's why it's like all the way over here on my hyphen key or my minus key. So basically I can go into bear form, but when I'm in bear form, you can see here that I have my macro to go back into cat form. Boom, so macro for bear to cat. And it is on a global cooldown, but it is very, very nice to use still. And that is very good to use. So like if I'm damaging this guy in cat form, damaging him up, taking a lot of damage, like I get my bleeds up there. My bleeds are on the target, so I'm looking really good. So let's put some bleeds up. Boom, boom, alright. There we go. Now I go bear. Now I go bear, I can thrash, I can run away. You know, I can go back and entangling root the guy. You know, I can do whatever I need to do to stay away. And you know, if you do have your artifact talent hardened roots, it'll make sure that your bleed damage no longer cancels entangling roots. So this is great to have. Nowadays with the artifact catch up, I'm assuming that all of you guys at least have these talents filled in, and I'm actually one away from getting Concordance of Legion Fall, which is really nice. And I want to mention one thing. If you have Bloodletter's Frailty, Ashamane's Frenzy also increases the damage your feral abilities deal to the afflicted target. So what you can do here is I like to get up, open up on a target, deal some damage. Of course, I don't have my Blood Talons yet because I'm opening. So what I can do is Ferocious Bite. Now I have my Predatory Swiftness, so I can get a free cast of Regrowth. So what I'll do is I'll go up to 2 combo points, use my Tiger's Fury, use my Regrowth, use Ashmane's Frenzy, then a Rip, then I'll Shred, and then I'll use my Regrowth again, Rake. See, these both have the increase from Ashmane's Frenzy. And what you can do to have these last longer is do not replace these until they're almost out. So like right now is about time to where I want to replace them, so bam, there goes that one. And also remember that if you catch yourself regrowthing and you're at 3 combo points, so like let's say I'm right here and I regrowth, oops, you know, I can use it on a Rake, but then I can't, how am I going to use it on my Rip? Because, you know, I only have 1 Blood Talons. You can use your Moonfire, 5 combo points. Since Blood Talons is only affected by melee abilities, you can do that. See, now that Rip has Blood Talons. So now I can go to town, get up to 5 combo points. Since I have my Rip pretty much halfway duration, I can use it on a Ferocious Bite, get myself back up there, and then reapply Rip before it falls off. And then I can keep going. So you basically don't always want to reapply your Rip unless you see it necessary. Like let's say you're switching targets and you want to have a full duration before you switch targets, or if you're just you know, trying to get some bleeds in before you kite. So the rotation for Feral Druid is pretty simple. You just want to make sure that you can keep your bleeds applied, and you do want to make sure that you're taking advantage of your Blood Talons. So I'll work up a target right here, get myself up to the 5 combo points, use my bleeds, get the Moonfire on there as well. Alright, regrowth, more bleeds here, work this target up. You know what, let's pop the Incarn since this is the kill target. So popping Incarn is very nice. So now we have full bleeds on the target. Let's say he's down to 30%. Let's say he's at 50%. We have our Ashmane's Frenzy available. With the Incarn and the bleeds on there, you can use your Ashmane's Frenzy to empower some bleeds. Get those on there. Use your Regrowth to empower 2 shreds, and those shreds will be mighty powerful, especially with the 30% damage increase from Ashmane's Frenzy and from the Blood Talons. Oh wait, and from the Incarn. So you're going to do a lot of damage. You're getting a damage boost from Bloodletter's Frailty, Incarnation, and Blood Talons. So that is a prime, perfect way to maximize your damage and kill a target in arenas. That is what I use every time I'm playing. If Incarnation is coming up and I have my Ashmane's Frenzy in the background, I'll be like, alright guys, the target's dying, let's go for the priest, or let's go for the hunter, or the mage, or whoever it may be. But that's pretty much it for all the tips that I have. If you do have any questions, make sure that you comment on the live streams. I do live stream, play my Feral Druid, and right now I am pushing rating. I am playing Jungle Cleave right now with a Paladin, a Holy Paladin, and a BM Hunter. You can come by, you can say hi, I'm a cool guy. I'll answer any questions you guys have. And you know, if you have any other questions and you can't catch the live stream, I'm also in the comments, or you can catch me on social media. I pretty much always reply. But thank you guys for coming by. If you guys enjoyed this guide and you do want to support the channel, I am creating guides and helping all the Feral Druids out, and also putting out as much information about World of Warcraft as I can on my channel. So if you do want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon. I want to thank Grant and Nevering for becoming patrons and helping me out and doing this full time. That's why I have Patreon set up, and it's a nice way for you guys to contribute if you're interested. But it's not necessary. I do appreciate a like and a comment. It goes a long way. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Feral Druid army. I'll see you all in the next video or live stream. Peace out.